Many of us are familiar with the Warsaw Ghetto, that horrible place where 400,000 Jews were confined during the years of 1940 to 1943. 400,000 Jews were put in an area of 1.4 square miles. Historians look back and say that this meant that more than 7 Jews were placed in each room of the Warsaw Ghetto. It was an awful place of malnutrition, suffering, and too much death. But what people don't realize also that in the Warsaw Ghetto, there were some rabbis who were able to offer some spiritual hope and comfort to their fellow Jews. None more famous than Rabbi Kalonymus Shapira, known as the Rebbe of the Warsaw Ghetto. The Rebbe offered a lot of insights to Jews in the Warsaw Ghetto on how to follow Jewish law during those difficult years. How do you keep Shabbat and study Torah when you don't have a Torah? How do you blow shofar on Rosh Hashanah when you can't find a shofar? How do you keep Passover when it's almost impossible to make matzah? But the Rebbe also did, and most importantly, he offered a light of godliness, spiritual hope, and Jewish comfort during those difficult times. After the liquidation of the Warsaw Ghetto in the spring of 1943, the Rebbe ended up in a special transit camp outside of Warsaw. And believe it or not, at the time, members of the Jewish National Committee were able to penetrate that transit camp and smuggle out a few Jews. Well, they of course chose the Rebbe. But the Rebbe refused to leave. Why? Because while in that transit camp, he had made a pact with 20 other Jews, secular leaders, well-known artists and physicians, business leaders of the Warsaw Jewish community, Jews representing all types of Jews, from the most secular to the most Orthodox. They had made a special agreement amongst each other that none would leave the transit camp unless they could all leave. Now why? Why would the Rebbe do this? He knew, of course, the idea that you save one life, you save an entire world, that each life is precious. Why would he not leave the camp? Because what the Rebbe understood is while the Nazis could destroy too many physical lives, while they can murder too many Jews, they can never destroy the presence, the essence, the value of Kol Yisrael Arvim Zeh B'Zeh. All Jews are responsible one for another. The idea of Klal Yisrael, Jewish unity, that all Jews must stick together no matter who they are, no matter how religious they may be, no matter what they believe. They're all Jews. What an important reminder for us, especially this summer, as we learn about the news coming from Israel, the challenges that Reform and conservative communities have at the Western Wall of having our conversions recognized in the state of Israel. And more importantly, as we approach Tisha B'Av, the 9th of Av, this Monday night and Tuesday, the holiday that commemorates the destruction of the first and second temple. The rabbis teach us the second temple was destroyed because of Sinat Chinam, senseless hatred amongst the Jews. Let us remember, can we do more to reach out to Jews in other communities, in other synagogues, or to Jews who don't belong to synagogues? Can we remember the idea that we are all Jews, no matter who we are, no matter our backgrounds, no matter what we believe? That is the true essence of what it means to be a Jew, to appreciate all Jews, to learn from all Jews, and to appreciate our differences. But remember that we have a lot still more in common, that we share so many similarities, no matter where we may go to shul. Kol Yisrael Arvim Zeh B'Zeh. The idea all Jews are responsible one for another. It may be more important than ever to remember this basic Jewish value. Shabbat Shalom.